Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories for you from Ethiopia. Firstly, Gondar, where reportedly Ethiopian army has withdrawn from a checkpoint which was set up to encircle Fano fighters. Reports are coming in that the ENDF soldiers have been seen withdrawing from this checkpoint. This withdrawal is separate from the withdrawal which happened a few days ago, 3 days ago, when the army withdrew from Gondar city reportedly. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian army issued a statement saying that it has recovered thousands of quintals of grain from forces of destruction. Who are forces of destruction? This operation by Ethiopian army was launched on Amhara Benishangul Gumuz region's border. And more than 7,000 quintals of wheat were reportedly recovered by Ethiopian army. Who stole, who captured, who was in control of the place, of the storage where this food was being stored? And lastly, viewers, Ethiopia has opened embassy in Pakistan. Another news for you from Pakistan. People say, Sajid, you're not covering what is happening in Pakistan because Ethiopia, Eritrea are keeping me preoccupied. So that is why. Firstly, viewers, first news story is about withdrawal of Ethiopian army from Gondar. Ethiopian army withdrew from Gondar city. We know that. I did a video on that, two videos on that. It happened after a 2-day strike in Gondar. I think on last Thursday and Friday, people went on strike in Gondar. Large scale protests were seen, sit-at-home protests, and roads were blocked. All businesses were blocked. Then we saw start of negotiation between Ethiopian army and Gondar elders. Talks were held at Gondar city mayor office. And after that, Ethiopian army announced its withdrawal from Gondar city. And we confirm that the army withdrew from Gondar city to its camps. But army was still there in the vicinity of Gondar. Fano fighters are not in Gondar city. Fano commanders, including Massafinth, are based outside Gondar in some forests reportedly or mountains. We don't know where exactly. An Ethiopian army was there between Gondar and Dabat in neighboring areas. Now, reportedly, the army has withdrawn from a checkpoint outside Gondar city. The checkpoint was set up to encircle Fano fighters. Withdrawal happened after negotiations between the army and Gondar elders. Will Fano fighters be disarmed? What are the terms of agreement? We don't know. But only confirmation from the ground is that the army has withdrawn not only from Gondar city but also from surrounding areas, from checkpoints established to arrest, to encircle Fano fighters. Gondar Fano has managed to make Ethiopian army withdraw. We'll have to acknowledge that. And it happened mainly due to massive public support for Gondar Fano. Hundreds of Amhara Special Force, former Amhara Special Force members have also joined Gondar Fano. Massafinth is now the leading Fano commander, or you can say that he is being shown as champion of Amhara resistance by Amhara diaspora, Amhara journalists, some Amhara hardliners. That he fought, he did not give in, and people stood behind him. And that is why he forced Ethiopian army to retreat. Now, one clarification. It's not that Ethiopian army is weak. It's not that Fano is more experienced. Fano has more capabilities than army. No. I've been saying that the army does not want direct confrontation with people. No army in the world can afford a confrontation with large crowds. Like it's happening in Pakistan. The army is being challenged by a political party workers attacking army installations, generals' houses. An army, though it fired at protesters, but in most cases it withdrew. It did not take on protesters. That is what happens in all countries, mostly, because no army can confront masses. If masses decide to confront armies, armies have to retreat. And that is what armies should do, because otherwise thousands could be killed. So, in Gondar, army has withdrawn from the city and from surrounding areas to reportedly. Secondly, viewers, another new story about Fano. It seems it's about Fano. Ethiopian army issued a statement today. It said that it has recovered 7,250 quintals of food grain from forces of destruction. That these forces of destruction had captured this amount of, I think, wheat on Amhara BG border in Javi, Ago-Avi zone. Javi is on Amhara BG border. And then Ethiopian army, through its operation, recovered the food and it was given back to the owners. Who is this force of destruction which had captured this 7,250 quintals? The operation happened in Javi, which is part of Ago-Avi. And we have been seeing tensions between Fano fighters and Ethiopian army, Fano fighters and Agos in this area. Forces of destruction. This term has been used by Ethiopian government, Amhara government for Fano factions. We have seen that recently. This term was used for Fano factions. It seems that the huge amount of wheat was in the custody of Fano fighters. 104 trucks full of grain have been recovered by the army. And now this wheat is being given back to the farmers. Again, army is not naming anyone. It seems that army recovered this wheat from this wheat storage from Fano fighters, and they are operating on Amhara BG border. I did a video on that, I think, if you remember. I told you about presence of thousands of Fano fighters on BG Amhara border. I shared names of some areas too, some mountains there. They are trying to organize themselves. Thirdly, viewers, the story from Pakistan, where Ethiopian embassy was inaugurated today. Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia today confirmed that Ethiopian government has inaugurated its embassy in Islamabad, Pakistani capital. In Islamabad, this inauguration ceremony was attended by diplomats, by top government officials from Pakistan and from Ethiopia. And a few days ago, a top business delegation from Pakistan visited Ethiopia. Before that, an Ethiopian delegation, a business delegation of businessmen visited Pakistan. So Pakistan, Ethiopia, economic ties, diplomatic ties are strengthening. It should happen because the two countries have not been closely connected. I became familiar with Ethiopia through Tigray war. I did not know much about Ethiopia, Eritrea, but Tigray war took me to this region, to the Horn of Africa. And that is how I got in touch with Ethiopians, Eritreans, Horn of Africa, wonderful people there, wonderful region. Problems are there, like here in Pakistan, but it would be good for both countries to be in touch, to exchange their experience and information. But let's hope that the two countries see genuine democracy, both in Ethiopia and in Pakistan. Genuine democracy is nowhere to be seen. Thank you for watching.